Hey Sec 3s and 4s, I've compiled the most valuable and important O-level advice for you from my class of 2023 students. These are the students who scored A1 or they made huge grade improvements like E8 to A2. They'll be talking specifically about how to ace O-level pure bio, but many of the tips are applicable to other subjects. Before we start, I'll explain a few phrases that they keep using so you will understand what they're talking about. Number one, when they say notes, they are referring to our free pure bio notes. You can get that in the description of this video below. Number two, when they say CAQs, it stands for commonly asked questions. This is when I went to find what are the questions that keep coming out for each topic. We compiled them, we made model answers for each of them so our students can study smart. This is supposed to be exclusive only for our TBT students. But if you want the first 6 chapters for free, you can get it if you are in our Telegram channel. So link in description. 3. Crash course clips or pre-recorded videos. So when they say this, they're referring to how we cut out clips, right, of all the major bio concepts under each topic. We put in a Google Drive for our students. Number 4, study sessions. So near the O-levels period, we held these guided Zoom study sessions for all our students for free, even though it costs us money. And the whole point of it is to get students to just study more during this crucial period, so they are more motivated, they don't procrastinate, and they just increase their grades. Lastly, number 5, TYS answers. If you hear this, they're not talking about the crappy assessment book TYS answers. A lot of students have complained that it's terrible, so we took it on ourselves to make high quality, updated syllabus TYS answers. And the good news is, it's free to public. So if you want it, which I highly recommend for your TYS revision when you mark and do corrections, it's also in the Telegram channel, so you should join that group. Yeah, so that's it. Enjoy and learn from their advice.
For my advice to my juniors, it would be to take advantage of the resources that you have and to clarify your doubts as quickly as possible, as it will help you to progress way faster. If you have any doubts, just don't delay any further and just go and clarify. Because you have the opportunity to ask your tutor, then you should just do it. ThatBioTutor actually introduced me to memory shortcuts, which are like acronyms related to bioprocesses. Instead of having to memorize a whole chunk of information, the acronym related to the bioprocess helped me to remember the content. Each letter in the acronym was related to a very important keyword in each bioprocess. Hitting the keywords were much easier. The compilation of commonly asked questions were also extremely useful because it made me feel like it was cheating, because each time I did a practice paper, most of the questions were very similar to what was in the commonly asked question list. I could also apply what was in the compilation of commonly asked questions to the application questions, since the content is actually still the same. I felt that if I had doubts to clarify, I could easily approach him in person in class, or I could just DM him anytime on WhatsApp, because he actually allows us to text him any time of the week, which helped me to progress even quicker because I could clear my doubts as quickly as possible.
The CAQs at the end of every class were like just a really fun way to track whether I actually learned everything I needed to from that lesson. And after every lesson, I could walk out of class feeling like I know what to do and what to write if a question like this came out in the exams. The CAQs in the notes were honestly my lifesaver. I just use those CAQs all the time to study for the WAs, for the exams, for any quizzes that were upcoming, because it really helped me learn how to study. I could go into an exam feeling confident, knowing what keywords and what I needed to write for any question that could possibly come out. Even if I haven't seen the question before in real life, or whether it was an application question, I became confident enough to tackle those questions as well because of the tips and tricks I learned from class, like how to answer those questions and score as many marks as possible. If I had one advice, if you're struggling and you really think that you're at like a dead end and you don't know how to like take the next step, join ThatBioTutor, because taking the next step to improving your studies is going to be so much easier with the abundance of resources and support from the teachers.
My advice to juniors is to not wait until the last minute. Seriously, start early, stay consistent, and take advantage of all the resources. TBT is here to make it easier, but I feel that you also have to put in effort. Trust me, you'll thank yourself later. So if you're on the fence about TBT, take it from me, it's 100% worth it. The lessons kept me interested, and the memory shortcuts that Mr. Keith used really helped me remember all the heavy bio content. Bio can be a lot to take in, but those little tricks made it so much easier to get through. The resources are next level. I'm talking about crash course clips, flashcards, and even past recordings. Every time I was struggling while studying and felt stuck, I would just pop on a past session or review the flashcards, and boom, I was back on track. The study block sessions before O-levels was a godsend. Getting my questions answered on WhatsApp within minutes by the TBT teachers was a total lifesaver.
I've really had many tuition, and I think TBT is really one of the best and perhaps the best for bio. I definitely regret not learning about TBT sooner, and maybe I wouldn't have to deal with a B4 in my report book. Mr. Keith, as well as the other tutors, are very passionate about bio and thus engaging during their lessons. Mr. Keith illustrates concepts using like drawings and stories. He uses memory shortcuts to help us remember keywords. I think spamming those keywords in my OEQ is perhaps what enabled me to score an A1 during O-levels. TBT's notes are really comprehensive and well compiled. So here is the TBT notes that really helped me survive through O-levels. Any queries you have is really just all answered in there. And I also have my notes from TBT that I printed out. As you can tell, there's a lot of annotations on it. That's really how engaging the class is. There's like quite a few drawings to show you. You can take this one for example. There's like a lot of drawings on it because like drawings and stories help make things a lot easier to remember. Yeah, anyways, to my juniors, the sky's the limit. You may not know it now, but as long as you try your best, you envision your success, you will succeed. So late is better than never. I'm not sure when you're seeing this video. Perhaps it's like a few months leading up to O-levels. This is really a lesson I learned from my time at TBT. So start prepping for your O-levels now, because in the blink of an eye, you'll be sitting in that hall, holding a pen in your hand, and the paper will be right in front of you. I know it can be like really daunting knowing that like O-levels that near, but believe me, as long as you try your best, just put in your best effort into like studying, revising everything, you can do it. So 加油 and join TBT.
Whenever I had a question, I could simply text Mr. Keith, and he would provide in-depth explanations and simplify concepts in a timely manner. His memory shortcuts have helped me remember lengthy, foreign scientific words I often got confused with. This has really helped me. Plus, with the acronyms to answer lengthier questions, hitting all the required points was no longer hard. Before my O-level examinations, I grinded the commonly asked questions, CAQs, once more, and made sure I knew all the memory shortcuts. Walking into the examination hall, I was confident and in fact a little excited to do the paper. I walked out of the examination hall knowing I tried my best, and I was happy that I knew how to do every question. Even for MCQs, it was easy for me as many of them were similar to what we have gone through in lessons.
Pre-recorded lesson clips, which I found most helpful as during my O-level grind, I just played these lesson clips in 2x speed to maximize efficiency when revising the subject. I had this mindset that bio was a last-minute crammable subject, which wasn't the case. Joining ThatBioTutor was the most optimal and ideal solution to save my crippling bio grades in secondary school. Unlike school teachers who just merely read off the slides, these tutors had somehow made such a content-heavy subject into something engaging by using acronyms, metaphors to help their students retain information better. So for those students who are seeking for improvement in the subject but may be intimidated by the sheer amount of content the subject has, I must assure you, if you join ThatBioTutor, you will be in good hands.
An advice for the juniors would be just practice more. Bio is really practice, and then try to do more application. I realized that application questions were much easier to handle. Mr. Keith kept emphasizing the importance of grinding the CAQs, so that was not really a challenge for me anymore. Bio definitely became easier. Bio was so much more understandable. When I went to O-levels, I felt that the paper was so easy, right? That I couldn't find a hard question, jokes. But yeah, it's just much better than bio was before I joined TBT. Mr. Keith was really approachable, and whenever I had a question, I could ask him, like I can PM him I can just talk to him after class. Whenever I needed more help on a certain topic, I can go into the Google class and just watch the crash courses. And because I like to do extra papers, right? So TBT was really resourceful for me in terms of bio. And oh my god, the sample answers for the TYS is so good. I kind of just memorized that and then my bio got better.
An advice I would give is if you decide to join ThatBioTutor, complete the assignments that Mr. Keith assigns so that when he goes through them during class, you can actively participate and ask questions.
Please don't be afraid to get help because it will really help you a lot if your questions and all your doubts are answered early. When I was in Sec 3, right, I didn't really do well for bio and I had this fear of asking my teacher questions because I was so scared they would be like, oh, you weren't paying attention in class, you probably didn't do your own revision, and they would get mad at me or give like this annoyed reaction. But that's not true. I'm pretty sure the teachers in school or the teachers in TBT are more than happy to help you clarify all your doubts. If you don't get your doubts clarified in time, right, you might forget, and during the exam, the things you didn't fully understand might come up and you'll really be caught off guard. And that has happened to me like many times when I was doing exams in secondary school. The thing I like the most about TBT is the memory shortcuts because I have very short-term memory. I'm like a goldfish. Before I found out about TBT, right, I only used those school notes and the textbook, which were all like chunks of information, and I couldn't absorb them. But when I used those memory shortcuts, I managed to score better for my OAQs because they all contain those keywords that you need to score, and it really made memorizing content much easier.
Lessons are also structured by topics. So after class, when I reach home, I'll just start studying, revising that topic, or going through my corrections properly, which helped me to avoid some procrastination. Mr. Keith also organizes study blocks, where after the type goes in the chat before the study block and check in with us after that to hold us accountable. Studying with other students created a very conducive learning environment, which is much more effective. I could complete all of my revision for my most hated subjects during the study block, which I would have otherwise procrastinated until it was too late for change.
If you need help, you should like really seek it early. So if people like watching like who are, like went to the March crash course, I would definitely ask you guys to reflect yourself. Like, where are you guys right now? And do you guys really think you can cope up? You guys have other subjects also. So like, if bio is your only weakness, then you can try. But it's better for you to like go here because like if you're going earlier and you're going to do your work, you kind of guarantee yourself A1, minimum A2, because they really give you a lot of like practices and a lot of help for you to really do well. Some people work very hard but not smart, so like they have to spend a long hours on like doing a thing where someone else try to do it smarter with like ThatBioTutor. If you're really struggling or you really need like some help and you feel like your school teacher might not be the best option and you're kind of like afraid to consult them, I think that ThatBioTutor will be a very good place because like they don't judge you or anything. If you join early and if you're going to have the right attitude and you're going to put the effort, I'm telling you, you'll definitely get distinction. If you guys have the right attitude and are willing to work hard, you'll kind of guarantee A1. So don't waste any time, just go for ThatBioTutor.
One advice I would like to give to my juniors is to remain curious and keep asking questions. When you ask questions, you are actually thinking critically about the concept, which will allow you to learn better and get a better grade in the long run. One thing I found extremely helpful is the CAQs. As long as I will memorize the model answer and know what's going on, there's a high chance of the same question coming out in my paper, which helped me to secure the marks. This happens during my prelim period, and the same exact question came out from my prelim paper, and I managed to do well in it. I enjoyed using flashcards a lot. Personally, I tried creating my own flashcards previously. Even though it may be effective, it's too time consuming to think of what answer and what to put inside the app. But Mr. Kim got it all covered with flashcards across 18 topics and even more.
Stay consistent because bio is a content-heavy subject. It would not be a wise decision for you to grind everything and memorize all 18 chapters 1 or 2 weeks before your exams. Spread out your revision and revise a little bit every day. That will help you retain information for a longer period of time. Don't just memorize, but understand, because that helps you answer application questions more easily, and application questions are crucial when it comes to scoring more than just a passing grade. Make full use of the resources that you're given. The different crash course clips that TBT provides, practical notes, practice papers, and CAQs. I think these resources have been really helpful and has helped me see a great improvement in my marks in such a short period of time. To those who are taking O-levels this year, all the best.
Really utilize the resources because there are so many exam papers provided that are really helpful to gauge your understanding and to improve your bio grade. And apart from that, to really memorize the CAQs because they are so important. The CAQs are actually such a lifesaver. I can't even go about to explain how much I love the notes. The CAQs really help drill the information into you in such an effortless way because learning the CAQs have been fun with all the memory shortcuts that Mr. Keith had made. I remember that during O-levels, there was this one natural selection question, and when I saw it, I was basically smiling as I wrote my answer down because I knew exactly how to answer the question because the CAQ came out. I also really like the 24/7 WhatsApp help. I can just ask the question at any time, and Mr. Keith will always send long, detailed voice notes explaining the concept to me in the simplest way possible so that I can understand it.
I think almost every of his resource helped me get from a F9 to a A1. Bio isn't very tough. As long as you know the key points, it's good enough. In Mr. Heath's notes, he will highlight the key points that you need to know, and the CAQs will also have the key points. His notes also have memory shortcuts, which were the most helpful for me. After using his notes and memorizing all the shortcuts, I managed to get like the model template answer and memorize it easily without like force feeding my brain with like a chunk of paragraph to memorize. So he also has these like commonly asked questions, CAQs, for every chapter, which were really helpful for me. And I've managed to finish all my CAQs during the O-level examinations. Some of the questions actually repeated, which helped me get the A1 that I got. I really loved all the crash course clips. In every chapter in Evernote, he would add a link to crash course tips that he taught, like the memory shortcuts for that chapter, that specific content that you need to know in a previous lesson. So if you're unsure of the content, you can just go to the crash course clips and you can watch it. So it's like a free lesson. So every time I forgot content, I would just go to the link, watch the link, and it would really help me. So it's a really good resource. Flashcards are really good too because on the MRT you can just use the flashcards. I'm pretty sure everyone who is watching this video is probably wondering if they should join TBT. As a F9 student to an A1 student, I can assure you that joining TBT will definitely help you. It may not get you to an A1, but it will definitely at least let you improve. Like definitely, you can minimum get like a B. I'm very certain. As long as you use his notes, you're all set. Mr. Keith is also really helpful. When you ask him questions on WhatsApp, he will reply you. He's not like other tutors which will blacklist you or not reply to your messages, which is really good. There are now a few tutors, Mr. Keith, Mr. Melvin, and Miss Chelsea. So the three of them were really helpful when I joined their classes. And if you're wondering if you need a fixed slot, you can actually go to different slots. So if you can't make it for this day, I think you're allowed to shift classes. And advice is, if you're really struggling with bio, I think joining TBT is a really good option because I joined and I managed to get from a failing student to an A1 student.
Hey guys, if that was helpful for you, then subscribe to our channel. If you'd like to join our O-level pure bio tuition classes, click the link below or go to ThatBioTutor.com.